Greg Mills is in Huntington for us. He's been covering these protests for hours and posting on social media. Greg, I'm not sure if you can hear me or we're able to go to him now on the ground. Greg, I've been following you on social media. You've been out there for hours now. How has the dynamic changed in the last hour, would you say?
Well, Sarah, as you can see, very, very calm here now. There were about 500 people here. That's our estimate, maybe more. And they were on both sides of PCH. And boy, were they split. When they got together, there was some skirmishes there, a lot of screaming and yelling. They definitely were not on the same page. Police were able to declare, as Chris mentioned earlier, unlawful assembly, which essentially says you're breaking the law, you got to get out. And so they were able to move all the people out. Again, about 500 people were here. We saw, I believe, 4 people arrested, 3 women and 1 man. And otherwise, other than some skirmishes, nothing bad. No looting is what police said. I want to show you a few things here live. I know we've been showing you some video from the Sky 2 and Sky 9, but come back down to the ground level and you see that people are taking preemptive actions. First of all, along PCH, that subway and another building right to the right that sells ice cream of some sort, they are both boarded up. And then right down Main Street, we're at Pacific Coast Highway and Main Street, and you see they're taking essentially, I think, preemptive action, hoping nothing happens here on Main Street tonight, blocking it off, as you can see, with police cars. You might recall, I believe it was July 4th, a few years ago, there was some looting on Main Street, which really surprised people. They broke into a bicycle shop and looted that, took all kinds of bicycles, and people were really shocked by that happening. Now, you got looting in other cities, Los Angeles, Santa Monica, but here, police said, so far, nothing. We got here today, and the very first thing that caught our attention was right over here at Duke's. Duke's has been here for many, many years, an institution here in Huntington Beach, and they were putting the boards up that you see right there and closing on a day that they normally, in the past, pre-pandemic, would have been packed. And the beach, what a difference. Sarah and Chris, you look down there, and it's like they're in a different world. They're about 100 yards away, 200 yards away, different world from what was like this 2 hours ago when people were being arrested and there were skirmishes and everything else going on here. But what police did was, once they declared the unlawful assembly, they then started systematically moving. They spread out across the whole, this area right here from that side of PCH, this side, in fact, all the way down to the pier, and just would move. They'd stand for about 10 minutes, move the crowd back again. About 10 yards, 15 yards, and they did it very systematically. It took about an hour, but that crowd of about 500 people who were on PCH and on both sides, they just gave up and kind of went away. Some went to the boardwalk, continued the protest there, maybe 20 of them did that, but otherwise they just kind of cooperated and ended up dispersing and heading home. But right now, this protest that started at noon is long gone, and I don't see anybody here right now that was here earlier for the protest, but they want to get the point across that the Black Lives do matter. That was the key, and a number of people I talked to said they think what they're doing now this weekend will make a difference. So Chris and Sarah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Greg, thank you for updating us. Greg's out in Huntington Beach for one of the Black Lives Matter protests.